Will the defending national champions take a stand against the current number one team? We've got a big matchup at the big house with Oregon taking on Michigan. Steve Merrill stopping by to break down all the big games across college football. Check out the various segments on the team channels. You can catch Steve's work, of course, at wagertalk.com. Steve, we've got Michigan stumbling this season to 3 losses. Of course, they pulled out a game against Michigan State last week. Oregon has been maybe the best team in college football over the last 6 weeks. 14.5-point favorite at Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, the concern with Michigan, of course, can they score enough to keep the game close? I think defensively they can definitely hang here. And in fact, if you look at the defensive numbers for the season, you've got an Oregon team that's given up 5 yards per play, 15.5 points a game. Michigan's given up 21.5 points a game, but they're giving up only 5 yards per play as well. They face almost equal offensive opponents for the most part. In fact, Michigan's faced a tougher schedule overall. Michigan's opponents have won by an average of 7 points a game. Oregon's just over 2 points a game. So it is a step up in class here for Oregon overall. Difficult travel situation. The problem, though, with Michigan is if they get behind, which they very well might, they're so bad throwing the ball at just 5.5 yards per pass, it's very difficult to catch up. Now, I do think they'll have some success running the ball in this game. Oregon's been very strong against the pass, 5.9 yards per pass against teams that average 7.5. Michigan averages 5.6. So it's really hard to imagine Michigan's going to throw the ball well in this game. But I think Oregon can be run on 4 yards per carry on the ground. Obviously, Boise State can run on everybody, but they did give up a lot of points in that game, 34 points, gave up 221 rushing yards to Boise back in early September. I think the side and total are somewhat correlated here. I don't recommend playing parlays unless a side or total are correlated. The two-team correlated parlays, the only time you might want to take a look. And I do think Michigan plus 14.5 and under 44.5 makes some sense. I just don't see Michigan winning a shootout. And I think if it is low scoring, that obviously allows the 14.5-point dog to keep it close and cover as well.
Michigan, in a sense, starting its 4th quarterback of the season because they've started 3. They're back to the original starter, Davis Warren, who was a turnover machine. Steve, he turned the ball over 25% of drives during his first run, but was clean against Michigan State last week. So, of course, Michigan's going to need another effort like that, plus some more. You can catch Steve's work at wagertalk.com. And, of course, his under-the-radar selection. We appreciate Steve giving us that exclusively here at the Voice of College Football. You can get that as a premium member on the YouTube channel or at patreon.com/MarkRogersTV. College football is even more exciting with some action on the line. And the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Let's start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread. I've got a 40-year track record. In fact, in 2023, at $100 played per game, you would have netted over $9,300. And guess what? I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill, our ace in the hole, show stopper from Wager Talk. 6 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick, which went 21-5 against the spread the last 2 seasons. I repeat, 21-5 against the spread. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Steve Dace and Matt Zemek. Become a YouTube channel member or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2024 a winner now.